Thank you for staying with us here on Good Morning Jacksonville. I'm Katie Jeffries.
And I'm Keitha Nelson. We want to get right to the three things you'll need to know this morning. The eye of the storm has officially moved offshore right near Daytona Beach as Milton heads back out into the Atlantic.
Now, Milton made landfall as a Category 3 around 8:30 last night in Siesta Key. That is just south of Sarasota. Right now, more than 3 million customers across the state of Florida are without power. And all morning long, we will be on your side with team coverage. We have crews all across the First Coast checking out the various conditions. We're going to go to them in just a moment. But first, we want to get the latest on the storm's position. Meteorologist Lewis Turner on your side with that.
Good morning, everybody. 6:05 is the time. We're looking at Jacksonville Beach Pier right now with winds still coming out of the northeast at 40 miles an hour. So the storm, yes, officially now offshore, some 20 to 30 miles. The center would be northeast of Cape Canaveral, and as it's moving on out. We'll get another update, as Lee had mentioned, in about 3 hours' time. Now that the storm is not over land, we won't get those hourly updates. Here are your wind speeds and directions right now. And notice that just from the color scheme, the brighter, more vibrant colors all along the coastline. This is a coast story for now because anything really west of 295, you've got some really quick improvements happening right now. As far as our folks watching in Southeast Georgia, inland Southeast Georgia doing well. In coastal Southeast Georgia, east of I-95, you're still picking up some bigger winds, but really you got to get out towards the beaches, out on St. Simons where you're seeing a 20-mile-an-hour wind with gusts at 35 on St. Simons, 53-mile-an-hour gusts St. Augustine. Mayport not registering one right now, but had a 51-mile-an-hour gust. We saw up to 60 there as well. So winds still very strong off the beach, though. We are in the improving phase for sure. Here is your Category 1 hurricane. The last reading was 85 miles per hour, though it will be moving steadily offshore. Here is the radar look, and a really good indicator of improvement is now the rainfall is ending from west to east, as opposed to still getting these waves coming on. The low is now far enough offshore that any wraparound moisture is now going to wrap around and stay a little bit further east of our beaches. So now rainfall more or less coming to an end around St. Augustine. We could get a couple of stray quick showers out there, but the story transitions from rain to more of the breezy conditions, those northeast conditions on the beach, and then the potential for another round of higher coastal tidal surge, less of a storm surge per se, but more of a tidal surge with water pushing into our inlets through the rest of our afternoon, which we'll have to watch out for those afternoon high tides. We'll talk about those coming up in just a few minutes.
Meanwhile, one of the areas really getting the biggest impact on the First Coast, Palm Coast.
Let's head out there now to meteorologist Robert Spetta. He is just north of Flagler Beach. Robert, have conditions improved there at all regarding wind and rain?
You can see I actually came back out on the balcony here. Definitely vastly improving conditions as far as those winds. Earlier it was hard to stand out here. Now it is still windy, but it's not quite like what we were seeing earlier for sure. The other thing I'm noticing, and as Lou was just talking about, been watching the radar here, I think we only got a few more minutes of the rainfall here across Flagler County as the storm pulls away. We're going to start to get into that dry slot. Still got the wind kicking up, but definitely it will be improving as far as that wind and rain. And we've even seen that here at the hotel. The rain's kind of blowing the water up against our window and is flooding the carpet on the 7th floor out here. So definitely still some impacts, but here's the deal. As those winds come down, at least by that point, emergency officials can come out. They did tell me last night, 39 miles per hour, that's their threshold. If it's up there, they're not going out. So hopefully once these winds do start to back off, we can start to assess. Plus, we're waiting for sunrise. Sunrise just right around 7:20 a.m. And at that point, we should get a better view because just behind me off in that direction, I know somebody just wrote me in about a mile that way. They said that there was a roof off of a building over there. I don't know the extent of it. These are just messages people are sending me here around Flagler Beach. We're a really great community here. People are communicating. They're saying, hey, this is what's going on with us right now. And right now I do know there's a roof over there that at least has some damage. Somebody over in a yacht club just towards our west said that the marina there taking some pretty decent damage. Not to mention over in Flagler Beach, as that tide continues to come up, I've been hearing reports of water washing over A1A. Once the sun comes comes up, these winds back off, and we're feeling more comfortable to head out and about here as this basically the worst of the storm starts to pull away, we'll get a better visual of what's happening. But for the time being, still have that curfew in place here at Flagler Beach. We still have that evacuation order, so we're still going to continue to remain smart. We don't want to go out here and risk it, just like we don't want you guys to go out there and risk it with the worst of this storm system. But in Hammock, or resort here, I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta, First Coast News on your side.